All right, guys, here we are to talk about the Gingerdead Man. Not exactly your traditional Christmas movie, but Gary Busey does get turned into a murderous Christmas cookie, and what more do you have to say? Sucking an audience. Gary Busey, check. Murderous cookie, check.
Yeah,
Cast of idiots, woohoo.
A gingerdead cookie instead of a gingerbread cookie.
Yes.
Obviously, in this case. Loosely associated with Christmas enough to earn its spot on the list of like Christmas horror movies, we think.
It seems like there are not enough Christmas horror movies, so they're just scraping the bottom of the barrel, and you'll find this on a lot of like the top 20 lists, just because gingerbread cookies are associated with the holidays.
20 is a challenge too. I was
guess.
thinking like, why would you put this on your top 10 list? And I'm like, how could you make a top 20 list without using this? Oh no. No, so you had seen this before.
Yeah, I saw this when it first came out.
You're down with this. You like this?
I do. I recommend this. I think it's fun. I think there's fun on and off the page here where it's like, oh, that's just a really funny mistake you've made in this part, and oh, that doesn't make sense, and then what they're saying is also punny and funny and stupid.
Sure.
So I think for all those reasons, this gets 2 thumbs up from me.
I'm in the 2 thumbs down camp. I hated every minute of this, and I liked it better before I saw it. But I think that when you say Gary Busey turns into a cookie and kills people, that has a certain like draw to it.
Certainly.
And some people will still want to see it based on that no matter what. And I welcome those people to have the same experience that we've had here.
Now, this is an outlandish movie that can be a chore for some. I can definitely see how that would go. But fortunately, it is only like an hour and 10 minutes, and that's with the credits.
It is.
So it is short, and like, you know, you're in and out.
Barely a thing.
But you'll talk about it.
Yes,
and
we
will talk about it in the spoilers or right now. So if you've seen this or don't care, follow us over there. And if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, guys, here we are for the spoilers on Gingerdead Man. So Gingerdead Man has a lot of mistakes and bullshit in it that make it even more fun.
I don't even care about like. I'm not like, oh, there's too many problems for me to like this. Like, there's nothing there at all.
No, mine is the flip side. The problems make me like it more.
Yeah. I liked some of the problems.
So like, let's just say, so from the start, Gary Busey dies from a lethal injection or electrocution, whatever his thing is.
He is executed by the state.
Because he breaks into a diner and kills the waitress. And then kills the brother and father of our main character. In the most idiotic display of heroism, I guess you'd say, the dad just is like, well, this isn't right. Pops out a switchblade.
We've had enough.
And then just goes, I'll kill you, you son of a bitch, to a man with a gun. Who then just promptly shoots him dead.
This ain't right. You got my back. It'll be okay. You bastard, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yep.
Then her brother, pops up, and he's more of the.
He doesn't do it on purpose though, because Gary Busey's like, I know someone's here. I smell something feminine.
And he was trying to protect his sister.
There's somebody in here. I smell something in the air. It smells feminine.
Yeah. Honorable, and he's like, put the gun down, man. Just put the gun down.
Put it down.
Just put it down.
Yeah.
And then he puts it down, and he says, why don't you try and take it? And then which might be the same knife.
I was gonna say, I thought like the dad had like a butter knife from the table, but it was
a switchblade.
There was like a whooshing action that happened.
This ain't right.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Depressing. So yes, probably the same knife.
I believe it might be the same knife.
Pulls out of his suit pocket. And
he puts the gun down, and the second the brother goes for it, he like shoves him down and stabs him in the back.
I'm sorry that's your dad, but welcome to Earth, pal. What do you think? Gun's right in front of you.
Yep.
Rendering him dead.
You're leaving out what is my favorite part, which
What do
is
you
the
got?
grueling conversation between Gary Busey and this boy, where he's like, "Are you asking me or telling me? You sound like you're ordering me around." And it just keeps, and
Yeah.
it goes in these directions where I'm sure they were just like, Gary Busey just said all that stuff. We paid for Gary Busey. We need him. We need to keep it in the movie.
We
Right?
paid for a half an hour of Gary Busey, and we're using all half hour of Gary Busey.
Look, what do you want with us? We don't have anything. Okay, just take your stuff and get out of here.
Shut up.
Put your gun down, please.
Shut up. Say it again and mean it.
Put your gun down, please.
You're ordering me?
Put your gun down, please.
You sound like a sissy boy.
Put your gun down, please.
Now you're sounding like my high school principal.
Because Gary Busey's not the voice.
He's not?
I don't think he's the voice.
Really?
It didn't sound like him to me.
I thought it was him.
I'll look it up and I'll drop a thing. And if
Pop
I'm
a thing
wrong,
in
I
here.
apologize, Gary Busey. But
So I just like assumed it was him, and like when you're going into it expecting it, maybe I heard it or whatever. But that would be like unforgivable. No, I think in the credits it says William Federian Lamine and like Gingerdead Man.
Does it? Okay.
I think so.
maybe I didn't
forget.
actually read anything because I'm illiterate. But,
I
it
was
didn't
not-
sound like him to me,
Yeah.
and maybe that's
Well,
just
no,
Gary
'cause-
having a series of strokes after his motorcycle accident or something.
That was Gary Busey in a recording studio where he doesn't have the mental faculties to like project and like do it properly, or like their equipment's not like good, or they're in like the backseat of a car that's not running.
I would assume
Like,
there's no studio. It's just them recording him
That's why I corrected it to be like they're in the back of a car
moving.
on the highway.
As
No,
they
no,
took
no.
him to the airport.
They're waiting in line to like merge. Yeah. It's like, cause it does sound so different, and it's almost like Bane, where it's like dropped into the mix in this really
Yeah, yeah.
weird way or whatever.
Her old man and brother were stupid back at that diner. They tried to stop me, but she didn't, because she was afraid, just like now.
So yes, I don't blame you, but yes.
So Gary is convicted. He is killed. He is whatever. They sent his ashes to his mother, who happens to be a witch, and they dropped a little bit of exposition.
Get you for this. Even from beyond the grave, because my mom is a witch in Coonsboro. You are finished.
Who plays his mother?
I don't know.
We never see her at all. There's nothing with his
Yeah.
mother at all.
Not only
you
do
see
you never
like
see her,
part of her
you
back.
see her in like, I don't know, like Snow White's Wicked Witch fucking outfit as she walks away down a hallway. During the day, and I could have sworn it was nighttime when the like that scene progresses. Like I thought it started at night. I thought that it opened the door and it shows her in the
Oh,
daytime.
before it
and then
was
a
then?
second later, her mom's outside with a shotgun shooting like with a crack shot, like ropes of a banner. His mom's a witch. His mom has his ashes. His mom takes his ashes, puts them in a box, labels it ginger spice.
Yeah.
So, presumably they are expecting a shipment of ginger spice. I love that the box says ginger spice, and the guy goes, "What's in the box? Must be that ginger spice."
Something else was just left at the back porch, too.
Cool. Must be that gingerbread seasoning.
Now the ginger spice gets put into the baking vat, and they happen to use that dough to make a gingerbread cookie. They could have made anything.
Yes.
First of all, so maybe the mom could have just made a thing, but there also happens to be, and they seem to put extra care in showing you this, that the guy cuts his hand and the blood mixes in with the dough,
Yeah.
and you're led to believe that that's something to do with it.
Ah, heck.
Oh, don't move, Bray.
That must be what did it.
That brought it to life. Then, hang on.
Okay, I was gonna
hang
say
on.
you're forgetting the crescendo. Okay,
then
go ahead.
like during a fight, they like jostle the electrical box, and it sends a lightning bolt through the now baking oven, which is the biggest oven walk-in freezer thing I've ever
Good,
seen in my
okay.
life. So you have this thing where it's like, oh, his mom was a witch. She put him in the powder. Oh, the blood mixed with the powder. The act of electrocution Frankensteined him into
I was just
existence.
gonna say that's the Frankenstein thing where you need the jolt
So-
to bring him to life.
not only did you have the coincidence of they happen to make a thing that has arms, legs, and a head, because he could have been a roll. Like, he could have been anything. There was no reason to believe that's what he would have been.
Some challah bread.
So these series of coincidences that let him like, be birthed into existence is so ridiculous to me. I can't just allow that to be.
That was an excellent rundown. I just want to point out that in the middle of all that, you see the dough mixing.
Yes.
There's way too much blood in it, number one.
Oh, 100%.
And number two, because they were just like food coloring, right?
Yeah.
Like a little baby arm comes
comes
out of the dough, like he's already a dude, and then they have to bake him for him to be a dude. Ah!
Yeah, they wouldn't like he's like a dude in the dough, and she like kills him by cutting it out. Like,
I might have like 180'd on this movie if when she slams down the big gingerbread thing, you hear you hear like a little noise, like the fuck, bitch! Like it's just Gary Busey being like, oh, like making a noise. Yeah.
Nah, the movie was so ridiculous that like I found it almost endearing. Like he's in there. He's now a gingerbread man, full formed, and he's like eating things in the fridge and just throwing them out of the door. And I'm 90% sure I saw people's hands throwing the things out. The little mistakes like that I love.
Did you like when he's hassling the rat?
Yes.
Where I'm like, that poor rat is so confused. What is this thing?
This most well-behaved like pet rat.
That rat is doped up on Zanny. that rat is partying.
Hey, rat! Rat! I'm talking to you. Want a piece of me? Hey, you little shit!
Speaking of partying, the mom is like the biggest lush you've ever seen. She's like so drunk.
I think maybe you've had enough agua caliente, Mrs. Lee.
Well, now you looking to get fired, girl.
Almost uncontrollably drunk. She's out in the middle of the streets firing a shotgun, and like no one has a problem with this.
Yeah, we all love what Mrs. Whoever.
That's the thing you do.
Mrs.
It's
Lee.
just and like that business isn't even opening for a full year. The guy says, and I'm like, she's shooting like the coming soon sign. Like, you're gonna ruin us. Ah!
No, and like they put that in there, like this is Globo Gym gonna open up and like cause all this problem for them.
Because here at Globo Gym, we're better than you, and we know it.
Spare me.
But yeah, it's not opened, and he offers to buy them out, right? As if this is going to be a thing.
I wasn't sure what that even was. Like, he's offering $50,000. Is that just to like close doors? Here's $50,000, walk away. Do they own the building? Is he buying the building?
Right.
Like, what does he want?
What do you think about my offer? You hear? $50,000. That make it so you and your drunk mama don't have to bust your humps.
Why don't you hold your breath?
And $50,000 seems a little bit insulting. And then the daughter adds insult to the injury by saying, like, you can buy a lot of things at Walmart with $50,000.
Well, that's progress, honey. Out with the old, in with the new.
$50,000 goes a long way at Walmart, Sarah.
They call it a couple of things. They mention like Pillsbury Doughboy by name.
Okay.
It's
like brands, you mean?
Yeah,
we shouldn't be able to say. Yeah.
Not that you shouldn't be able to, but it's something you usually don't do.
Yes.
But this movie is like was small enough and it just rose higher. But it's made by Full Moon, a real company.
I think they knew that they were going to fly under the radar on this one, though, and it wasn't going to be a big thing.
I don't know. It's strange to me.
They probably did get sued for all their profits, and they were like, "Great, we're done already. We don't have to do anything."
Well, they've made like so many sequels
from all this.
It's a ridiculous amount of sequels.
Empire. We should briefly then talk about, this is Charles Brand, I want to say?
Yeah.
This is the Parasite guy.
Is it Brand or Band?
So movie Parasite, and he has a huge filmography.
Yeah.
Producer of like 300 some odd things. Director.
Parasite was before Full Moon
like
existed, and then that whole production house has produced so many things.
So I thought Parasite was pretty cool, and I don't know much of his work besides that. But you had pointed out like, oh, he's like the Killer Bong guy, and I'm like, oh no,
which crosses over with our boy here, Gingerdead Man.
So
they have a kid.
Oh fuck! So this
Weedsy or Weedsel
Killer
or
Bong is a female.
Yeah,
that is amazing. Equal opportunity in your in your things. So part of me was like, oh, this might be like uniquely cool because of who's making it or whatever. I think it's a complete accident and has nothing to do with anything. And there's nothing to do with that with this. It's just this guy 20 years after those other movies went on to do these. He's just working.
This
for a
is
living,
more.
Right?
similar to what he's most known for
Yes.
than the thing you are familiar
Right.
with.
He was experimenting in the beginning, and he settled on a style that I do not care for compared to his earlier works. I was seeing boxes where I'm like, I think I've seen that, and I like it.
most
Like,
definitely.
there's so many things. It's like a lot of stuff to go through. For this
No,
person.
his filmography would keep us here all day.
Enormous, yeah.
Yeah, and then they have subsidiaries of that company where they do kids movies and things. He's got a lot of stuff. But this movie is fantastic because of the flaws. I'm gonna just mention a couple more like things.
Yeah, we can keep. Yeah, you
they spot the mom. The mom gets her finger cut off at one point when she's going to like hoo him, and
Ever try a lady finger? Yeah!
so she's going to poke him. He slices her finger off with a knife. You can see behind his back that is a regular knife, and then when it cuts, it's a serrated knife. And I like little things like that. That's a mistake.
Sure.
Then the flip side is when they find the finger, they know it's her mom because of her wedding ring. Now no one wears their wedding ring on their pointer finger, so that's weird too.
Mom's wedding ring.
Is that the finger that got cut off?
Well, she wouldn't have gone the point like this.
I did not give them any credit for anything of that at all. And the wedding ring looked to me like a tiny pine cone. It was very weird. It was super weird looking. I know there's certain.
I think that was a diamond. But I don't know.
There are rings that have all those sorts of
Yeah.
weird whatever they're called, those like things that poke out or whatever. But I'm like, what is happening here? Yeah, I know. Yes.
The revolver scene, like, so aside from the fact that the Gingerdead Man got this revolver late in the game where it had already fired a couple times, we did notice the what's the guy's name, like Axel or Amos, that's it. Amos did fire a couple shots before the Gingerdead Man got the gun, but once Gingerdead Man got the gun, he fires like 20 shots on a revolver. I like things like that. And you may indeed be able to see a human hand pulling the trigger behind him.
I hope so.
Because it's like just in the crux of his armpit firing.
Yeah.
A lot of ridiculous things.
Did you like when he was like running the guy from Globo Bakery over, and he's using like a rolling pin to like work the gas pedal?
It's not even the same car that you see him pull up in. It's this like ridiculous thing.
Perfect.
He's using a rolling pin on his foot. It's like glued to his foot, and he's there burning out, which he only has one pedal. Yeah. Like,
hey,
it's so funny.
I know what you. So a lot of these things are things I don't even like super notice so much because the mistakes are so like small because they're like real mistakes. They're not like epic mistakes or like funny mistakes to me. They're just like actual mistakes where it's like
no, but that's
this
what's
person
funny to
walks
me.
in and all of a sudden they're all clean and it looks like they were never covered in icing or whatever. And I'm like, okay,
well,
that's just
bad. The
bad.
bad girl who broke in to release a rat, like what?
Sure.
She gets like pied in the face.
So you thought you'd get me shut down by the health department instead?
And then Scooby-Doo is like one wipe and she's like totally clean. And then there's the girl who you were mentioning who gets like cake like frosted.
It looks like icing and she has little cherries on her tits.
Yeah.
Like,
and then like again a second later, I love she gets clubbed in the head with a frying pan.
That's gonna leave a mark.
And then the girl goes, I've been taking some classes at the community college. I'm not saying I'm a nurse, but I'm gonna be. And I don't think it's concussion. I think she just has what did she say?
I don't even know.
Oh man, it's when you're like, oh, she's just in shock.
That bump on her head don't look so good.
Yeah. But I don't think she got a concussion. She's just in shock right now. But I think it's wearing off.
Yeah, she kind of well she was in the freezer.
Yeah.
And they're not like, we have to get all this cold icing off of her. They're just like, they got her.
That's insulation.
Yeah, exactly. She'll be fine. And yes, she kind of runs down from like a medical perspective. And he's like, wow, you're like pretty cool with that. And she's
never like lifted her eyelid, checked.
Yeah.
She's 100% concussed.
Right,
she might be dead.
Yeah. Yeah, you should not power through a concussion. That's a serious thing.
And she was wailed like directly in the brain. Like, and they didn't even see it happen. They have no reason to believe anything about her condition other than she's probably cold. She was in the fridge.
Yeah, she's probably cold. Why are you sleeping? You're so cold. This is yelling at her. That's what I would like to see in movies. Is like going that extra mile to acknowledge something is funny and make it funny.
Sure, and there wasn't a ton of that in this.
That's what I'm saying.
The overall, though, it left me with this great feeling of like, this is a shitty, low-budget movie that is fun.
Let's keep going through
all right.
for like plot and all that stuff. When last we left, I think we've like covered the middle area where like all of our characters are like coming together, right?
Yeah.
Let's just assume that the rival dude dad has died outside and all the kids are in there, right?
Daddy! Daddy, no. You mean the world to me, Daddy. I miss you, Daddy.
There's a touching, like I love you kind of moment between Amos and the main character girl, which is like so token of every shitty horror movie.
Smart, pretty girl like you can be whatever she wants.
Sorry. I don't know, I just did that.
Where there's this long exposition-y thing of us talking when there's like a dinosaur in the room or something that's about to kill me or the murderer is right there.
You probably don't remember me, do you? Well, you came to my birthday party when I was young and all that stuff. I almost appreciated this because they went to all the extra trouble to establish that the mean girl is that what we're calling her?
Sure.
The like pretty girl or
Miss
whatever.
Waco.
Did I tell you she was just named Miss Pretty Face of Waco?
It's only the 10th time you've reminded me.
Yeah, she was like not actually into Amos, and they don't have like a real connection.
Get real, girl. It's nothing but a little bit of stupid fun is all.
He wasn't into her either. She just bought pizza and beer.
Yeah, I think she goes out with me because she thinks it improves her image, you know? Makes her look tough. Miss Pretty Face of Waco, bossing around the town delinquent.
Well, I was gonna say like, and even if he's into her from like her comments, he's gonna have his heart broken.
Yeah.
So the eventual like they like kiss, right? It's like a horrible.
Yeah, they kiss
thing.
twice.
Yeah. So like Amos and Sarah like get together, but yeah, there's no sense of like urgency with the Gingerdead Man.
No.
He's like, I think early on he says, "Ha, what the fuck," and he's like talking to them, and then it like does like a black cut or like a fade, quick fade, like it's a commercial break, and when it comes back, they're just all like, "Yeah, man, I was pretty crazy with that judge," and like I'm like, "You were in the same room. Where'd he go?"
The hell is that?
Well, it sure ain't the Pillsbury fucking dope boy.
Yeah.
Like there's no scene of him like running off or them running out, I think.
Shit.
You already said that.
That establishes that there's no sense of urgency throughout the whole thing. But
Well, they
also,
don't even know that he's a villain at that point. They're
I
like,
guess.
what is this thing? Is this a trick?
All right, look, I'll admit. Okay, when this shit first happened, I was a little spooked for like a second. But it's a gag. It's gotta be. I bet you anything that it's that geek who works for you who's all into the wrestling.
Who, Brick?
Yeah, him. It's a big joke. Big funny ha-ha.
Yeah, but it's this whole, like, characters go outside and come back, like, multiple times.
Well, that's what's hilarious.
There's no,
at one point it said he booby-trapped all of the exits.
I fucking booby-trapped all the exits.
But many times people go in, go out, the phone might be dead and all the cell phones might be dead, but they like cars drive by, they could just walk away.
No, that's what I mean. Like there's moments where they say, "No, we can't leave Julia," or like, "No, my mom," or like, "I have to go back for Brick," or whatever his name. I think his name is Brick.
It is Brick.
And
that's a southern name.
I think she calls him Brick a few times, or something.
I could just be the accent.
Or like the B is not.
It's weird
enough.
hearing
But
Amos be like this punk goth guy with a southern accent.
Talk about going postal.
With his,
you
like,
don't see that a lot.
shorts, long shorts or whatever.
Well, the only
hate
thing
you
that
so
really
much.
of the outfit that really like threw me, I was like, why does he have a like pull my finger T-shirt?
What is that fucker anyway?
Like it just like couldn't it have been a band that exists or doesn't, or just a black shirt?
Anarchy symbol.
Why are you breaking his
Yeah.
like theme here with
Interesting.
like, oh, he's an idiot?
You have to put the regional flavor on it.
I guess.
But yeah, sometimes there's reasons they can't just walk away. But often I'm like, just walk. What are you doing? Just
And
walk away.
what was that trap that the thing set that killed the mean girl?
Yeah.
It was like, she hit a tripwire and a knife fell into her brain. And it wasn't a knife he could have possibly found in the building. It was like a military knife.
Yeah, exactly. And like I forget how she triggers the trap, but the result.
rope.
Yeah. So okay. So she like trips on like a knee-high rope, and the result is that a like military dagger is embedded to the hilt in her skull.
Well, it was sharpened to a molecular edge.
Monomolecular edge.
But like it seemed like something fell behind her, and then the knife fell. Like she turned and it just got like
no,
cranked.
like a counterweight or like a thing or something, but you don't really see it. I think because they didn't like have.
Because it didn't exist.
Well,
so,
but like not even like a thing to act like a thing. Like you could have had like a thing.
How about the fact that the
swinging
power's
around.
out, but constantly the electric thing on the oven is working?
Nothing's as loving. Say goodnight, cream puff.
Okay, sure.
Like little things.
I'm glad that you mentioned that the oven. One of my notes was like, do they make ovens like this? Because it seems like it's not quite right.
I actually, had they ever shown it, so it appeared to me that the thing they're showing as the fridge and the oven might be the same thing. But I do believe there are ovens that you wheel racks of things into and like all the bread that's cooked and you pull it back out.
When you have to bake mad bread, as they say. Yes.
But like the thing that they have, they're like a small town bakery, and what you see from the front doesn't make sense like what you see in the back.
No.
Brick?
Like they have those mixers for like we make 1,000 rolls a minute like type of situation in a big warehouse.
And they have like a fight, like a fun bakery fight when there's a bunch of racks there.
We tried to be clear. Trash like you? No, what's good for you?
Like, yeah, how much baked goods are you selling?
It seems like just in any given town, especially with a counter like that, I'm like, it's all you have is like bagged cookies and things. Like it seems like the easiest way to make a fake storefront was like, we could put little pieces of wood in a wrapped plastic thing and put it there, or whatever they might be doing. It just it strikes me as like an odd thing. And even in the beginning, it doesn't like it's not like the bakery gets robbed. A like random diner gets robbed. So it's strange to not have them either own the diner or have them get robbed at the bakery to have this extra step.
Yeah, it's weird because that implies Gary Busey did the research to know. I guess maybe his mom did it. Never mind.
Oh, it was his mom. He was dead.
It took him years to be executed or something like that, and we don't even know when he was apprehended, right?
2 years. Yeah, well, 2 years from when he got caught, he was killed.
Yeah, I don't know if he had time that day to figure out. Maybe he grabbed the father's wallet and he saw his address.
All of it just seemed like a ridiculous
thing. Checked him out
like,
in the white pages.
How much money do you think you could possibly get from the register at a diner to commit multiple murders?
No, and
did he shoot her in the stomach or something? What was his thing? Because he's like, Mom always said finish the job. Mama.
Yeah.
And then like he shoots.
Good mother.
But like it cuts away immediately, so you don't see like her hold anything or do anything.
I don't know what he did.
He might not have shot her at all. He could have shot her. I have no idea.
I don't know what's going on at all for most of the movie. That's
Yeah.
my issue. We're talking about in the beginning, right? He goes crazy. He starts crazy, but he goes crazier.
He starts crazy. Became an actor.
Briefly became an actor, and then spent his career being crazy. I thought I'm with Busey was a great show. I used to watch that on
I've never
Comedy
watched it.
Central or something like that.
Go paintballing now, and I'm going to show you The essence of combat training that I've had from Marines and Navy SEALs.
I was doing a lot of TV during that time of my life, and it showed up right there, and I thought Gary Busey was cool as a character actor and different stuff and various things. And
He's in some fun things.
Perfect
I
thing.
like him playing
He's a crazy
himself in
person.
Entourage. I like Jake Busey is my Busey of choice.
Yeah. You don't have to choose you
have
Busey.
to.
Really?
Yes.
I like Gary Busey.
Oh,
yeah. And he goes absolutely crazy. He's doing this thing, like you said, my mama said, finish where I start. And he's doing all this like insanity ranting, and then like discharges his firearm. But we don't even know if she was injured. That isn't like a plot point.
Yeah.
There's no plot points at all. Okay.
It's not that she looks so different from that first scene to the second scene.
let me see you.
But I was like, is that her? I can't remember.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's her.
Why don't you take off early?
But the cookies, they...
I'll finish.
I hope it's her, yeah.
It is.
Okay, I was going to say, damn.
Oh, do you know how ridiculous the movie would be if it was an unrelated cast
wasn't even
after
her?
the first 3 minutes? I would love it.
Yes,
Couldn't get that
exactly.
actress back. We got somebody.
Sorry, we had to get someone else.
No, it's totally the same actor.
We gave her the same hoop earrings, though, so it's fine.
There's really not much of a body count in the movie, though.
There's not many bodies in the movie.
No,
Yeah.
you lose the father of Mean Girl. You lose Mean Girl in the very beginning. You lose her father and her brother, and then
Yes.
Brick dies, presumably.
We did not talk about this part, right? So the chips are down. Our team's like seconds away from being vanquished, and who comes back?
Yes.
Oh, I was looking through the windows.
There
and I
are
saw
no
something.
windows in the room they're in. I have to point that out real quick.
Sure.
But yeah,
we
Brick
didn't
comes
see the
in.
fourth wall, did we?
Well, the fourth wall was a wall. Brick comes in
Perfect.
to save the day in his costume
Goggles
of the
on.
butcher baker.
Brick!
What the fuck?
Whoa. I was driving after Wrestlepalooza, saw you guys through the windows.
Brick, you gotta get out of here.
Don't worry. I can handle this.
And I love
butcher
everything he put on
baker.
screen there. I think
He's
it was,
good.
I think
like
it was
him.
fantastic.
I actually think that he was picked for, spoilers ahead, his like eventual possession that he could pull off. He's not necessarily doing a Gary Busey impression there, but he's like projecting the right energy, right?
Yeah.
Because he has his own like, hey, go, maybe you want to come with me? And then he's got his I'm a wrestling promo. He's doing that thing,
Yeah.
and then he's got his possessed by Gary Busey thing.
It's not over yet, girl. Not by a long shot.
So this kid's going places.
When he comes in and he's in his whole full-on wrestling shtick,
Yeah.
and Gary Busey goes, "You fucking kidding me?"
Now it's time to meet your maker. Prepare to face the butcher baker. For tonight, your ass is toast.
You gotta be shitting me.
That's the best because you can't believe it's happening, and that's the type of thing as an audience member you'd be like, "The fuck is he doing?"
What is
and I
happening?
love that the character in the thing
Yeah.
realizes how fucking ridiculous it is.
Right.
I hate that he takes his little goggles off. I thought those made the outfit.
Exactly. It really ties it all together.
Yeah.
There's a fight. A fight ensues.
There is a fight.
So there's a fight that is barely a fight where he ends up eating the Gingerdead Man's head.
Yes.
And
in an awkward cut together thing where there's a bite, then there's not a bite, then there is a bite.
there's a lot of blood on his face. So you're like, oh, is he like a little thing? I thought he was like a magic cookie man. Is he just a little man that began his life as? Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Should have been filled with like eggnog or something.
Yeah.
Got milk?
Real quick before the
Yes.
fight, though, when he first has his shtick and Gary Busey has the gun still, he's like, "Oh!" And he dodges like 2 bullets before the fight starts.
Let's finish this.
Oops.
Yeah, where he goes like, uh-oh.
Because it could have been also great if he just shot him dead.
Doesn't he come in and like introduce himself and then goes, oh, uh-oh, right? It's like, in that order? Or
When he
no?
sees the gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does he talk before he sees the gun? I
He
think
talks,
does, right?
says how like, "Oh, I'll kill you because I'm the butcher baker," and the guy's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Oh!"
Yeah, I remember that, where he ducks down and then has
Yeah.
to go at him. He eats some, this was telegraphed what's going to happen, kind of, to me.
Of course.
But he says, okay, because Gary Busey, as the Gingerdead Man, says, like, do it, motherfucker, eat me, or something like that. I was like, oh, no.
Eat me, you punk bitch!
Butcher Baker Sloan's bitch!
Hey, fucker!
Right? Because he says something like, I'll get you, this isn't over yet, or whatever. And my first thought was, Gary Busey has set up a bunch of other gingerbread man, because there was a whole box of mix, okay, and there's plenty of blood now, right? I thought, oh man, this thing's going. There's stuff in the oven. There's a whole army of Gary Busey gingerbread men about to happen in this movie.
A Cult of Chucky situation.
Exactly. And that's not what happens. And then as soon as he says, eat me, I'm like, oh no, he wants to be eaten, I guess, because something's going to happen with that. And I thought maybe he bursts out, like he reforms or whatever.
As like a smaller version of him from the dough of his head.
Right? I don't know.
There wasn't a budget for that.
I'm not sure what was going to happen there.
His size does seem to also fluctuate quite a bit, because there's one that is a mouth movable puppet, and there's one that's just like, this is for the wide, and this is for the close-up.
Yeah, and there's a little puppetry off the side of the thing happening there or whatever. But that isn't what they do. No. They decide instead that Brick should be, let's say, possessed by Gary Busey.
Yeah.
Millard.
How sweet. She remembers.
That's the idea here.
He takes over his body like a demon would, and it even contorts his face to be almost like a 1999 Buffy the Vampire Slayer looking face.
I was just going to say, it's like a worse thing from Buffy.
Yeah.
Like 10 years after the fact or whatever. Yeah, it has like the green mouth and the weird eyes and the stuff, right? It's very... It's a look.
The teeth get blackened, the tongue gets blackened, the eyes are sunken and blackened. Yeah. I thought the look was pretty decent though, and you really, he is on screen as a wrestler, but he didn't really look imposing until he had like that face. Because when like something about his goofy face took away from him, like, no, he does look like an athletic dude. And when he does fuck up Amos, you're like, yeah, Amos, you're actually not that tough of a guy. You're just the tough guy that got hired. Yes. Like you're kind of a bitch. You get one-shotted from like a really, if I remember correctly, a really deep uppercut.
Who do you think can kick your butt from here to tomorrow, boy? The Candyman can.
Amos.
No, and like Amos was a very like pretty boy looking, dumb, lovable type dude, so I was not buying that for
Had a cool car though, really liked his car.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looks very different before and after, so that's important. And I think, again, like that actor was good enough.
Yeah.
Or that actor was an actor, I should say. And he was he had different things he did depending on like different stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, clocks Amos, blah, blah, blah. A few lines of dialogue about like, it's like the Freddy Krueger, I take back all the power I've given you bullshit, where they're just like, you were always scared, you're scared now. I'm not scared anymore. And they just shove him into the oven and slam the door shut.
Yeah, it seemed like the Latina friend one was the one that actually finished him. She seemed to be the one that aggressively shoved him into the thing, and I was like, all right.
I was scared of you back at the diner, but I'm through with being scared of you, Millard.
So I was like, well, really, she's the heroine.
It turns out she's the main character of the movie.
She had no skin in the game, but damn if she didn't kill him.
Yeah, and I felt sad for that, because now Sarah and Amos are like a couple, and I thought Julia and Brick were like forming a little bit of a bond there.
Butcher Baker.
Yeah, Butcher Baker. All right.
And now he got possessed and baked to death. And it's like a sad ending for her.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
Well, I think the sadder part is the fact that they would all spend the rest of their lives in jail, actually, because you can't explain anything.
No.
And even if you could, they also put 3 shots into Brick and burned him alive. So they're going to jail.
Mom ever teach you about this?
Everyone is dead. Oh no, your like political rival and business rivals are murdered on your property. You killed one of your workers. Jail.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But instead, it's a happy ever after ending that goes to a bake sale.
Do they say X months later or something like that? Because in my head, I don't think
anything like that being said, but I naturally assumed.
But time must have passed.
It wasn't the next
day. A significant amount of time must have passed.
I would assume, well, yeah, it has to be.
Thanks for all your help today. No, thank you, and the hospital thanks you.
Hey, Betty, how are you?
That's Betty Lee. She looks so much better.
Something. They can't show the street, but like, yes. They
It's
just
like the mother had a finger again, so I didn't look.
they missed a golden opportunity for like a glove or like a different colored finger or something like that.
Mm-hmm. But the big twist here, and it's not an after credit twist, it's a before the credit twist, is like the two boys go, "Do you have any gingerbread cookies?" "Not if you're lucky," or something. The girl says,
lucky,
"Oh, actually, an old lady dropped off a couple." And then like their eyes just open in quotes to just be googly eyes.
Hi, do you have any gingerbread cookies?
Not if you're lucky, I don't.
Actually, an older lady stopped by just a few minutes ago and dropped off some of these cute little rascals. Couldn't you just die?
Like shitty, like buy 100 for $3 googly eyes.
Yeah.
And they're like this big. So this is the best part for me, is that we took away all the guessing and the 3 extra steps that were needed to make an actual proper villain here out of what I guess the mom kept some of the ashes, because she then goes, "You know what? No, now I will make the ultimate killing machine, what I intended, lots of small, useless gingerbread men. Perfect.
And I'll get you." She's out for revenge.
She could have like sprinkled those ashes into like a taxidermied wolf or like, I don't know, anything imposing.
I feel like you could just trick them into eating the ashes, and then Gary Busey would just possess all of them.
I wonder if she knew that was a possibility.
Sure. She's a witch. She's a professional witch, though. She should know these things.
Presumably.
Yeah, sure. It also says here that after they fried him in the chair, they cremated him and sent his ashes to his mother in Coonsboro. How sick is that?
I'm not under any delusions that this is a great movie, but I think it is a fun movie. It's definitely a movie that I think everybody should watch, and because it's so short, there's no real excuse. It's an hour. It's like an hour. An hour and 10 minutes on paper, but it's like an hour.
Let us talk briefly about the length of the movie. I was shocked when the credits started rolling, and I think the credits are also slow. They started to come up, and I'm like, they're like barely moving
some
or whatever.
annoying song
It's
plays.
like 9+ minutes of credits in an hour and 10-minute movie.
Yeah.
And in the intro, there was a whole intro where you saw baked goods and like text and all that stuff. So yeah, it's like it's like not even 70 minutes, right? It's like a 55-minute, 57-minute, 56-minute movie.
Yeah.
That's insane. It's not a movie.
No.
It's just an event.
Yeah, it's
just
a
thing that
short,
happens to you.
Short, fun experience. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
That's crazy. Crazy.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition.